Rest is a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable because your mental health matters, your emotional health matters, having peace in your heart and in your soul matters. Because if you are not operating from a place of grace, if you're not operating from a place of strength, from a place of confidence, from a place of knowing that you are being supernaturally held, right? It's going to be so easy for you to run out of gas. Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Called Women Show. I'm your host, Natasha Miller, and today I'm so looking forward to the conversation that we are going to have. I first off just want to simply thank each and every one of you for all of your support just in the last year. I have just seen so much major growth here on the YouTube channel, getting to read your comments, getting to read your DMs, just talking about how impactful these episodes have been. And I just want you to know that I would not be here. Our YouTube channel would not be growing. Our other social media handles would not be growing if it was not for you. So I just want to thank you for your support. We're about to celebrate 1 year on December 5th of the Called Women Show. So I'm so excited to be able to sit here each week to bring you a live, encouraging conversation to just remind you that you're a called woman and that God's hand is on your life. So for today's solo episode, I wanted to talk about a subject that is very, very important, especially as we are entering into the fourth quarter of the year. How many of you know that when we enter into the last quarter of the year, it is and can be one of the most busiest seasons of the year? We're entering into fall, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we're preparing for a brand new year. And as women, it can feel as though our life really never slows down. Just to give you guys a bit of a preview of how my life has been in the last month, y'all, it has been chaotic. It has been intense. There has been a lot of just transition, rearranging, resetting of tasks and rhythms in our home. And as you may already know, I am expecting our fourth child. So I have 3 little ones. I'm pregnant. I'm doing the show, supporting my husband, trying to take care of my health, trying to still have time for myself, pouring into my friendships. And we also added on a new responsibility to where we are homeschooling / co-teaching at least 2 times a week. And I'm not going to lie, like the last 2 weeks have been extremely hard for me. Adjusting to being at home and being responsible for my daughter's education, giving them tests and quizzes, and really just literally, focusing in on what they need educationally. And even in the midst of that, and just balancing work and balancing everything else in my life, I found that I literally came to the end of myself. I was physically exhausted, mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted. And I remember specifically one night I woke up. It was about 3 a.m. I was laying in my bed and literally tears just started to stream down from my eyes. And I just began to pray and ask the Lord, God, help me to manage, help me to be sensitive to your help and to your spirit in the midst of all of the newness that I am experiencing as a wife and as a mother. And as I prayed that prayer and I released just the heavy burden of just doing a lot, right? The burden of trying to make everybody happy, the burden of trying to make everything work. I really felt in my heart and spirit during that time that the Lord was like, I've simply been waiting for you to hand over to me what you have been carrying. What you've been carrying has been too heavy for you to personally hold and handle. So y'all, I literally gave that over to the Lord, and no lie, the next morning I woke up and I felt 100 times better because I realized that I was trying to do everything out of my own physical strength. And with today's conversation and with this video, I want you uh, to be still and to also look back at this season of your life and evaluate, are you running on fumes? Are you emotionally or physically drained? Are you needing to be reminded of how to manage and be a good steward of the season that God has you in? So today I'm going to talk about how rest is a non-negotiable. I'm going to say that again. Rest is a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable because your mental health matters, your emotional health matters, having peace in your heart and in your soul matters. Because if you are not operating from a place of grace, if you're not operating from a place of strength, from a place of confidence, from a place of knowing that you are being supernaturally held, right? It's going to be so easy for you to run out of gas, sooner than you need to run out of gas. So today I just want to share with you 5 ways to incorporate rest into your daily life. And my prayer and hope with sharing with you these 5 ways is that you would begin to put these rhythms into practice, that you would be gently reminded that you matter, that rest is something that you cannot compromise on. Rest is something that is necessary for you to walk in your call well. And also understanding that rest not only benefits you, but it also benefits those around you and also the work that you do. So it's so easy to think of rest as only one way of doing, to think that, okay, when I rest, I'm either sleeping or I'm laying in my bed or I'm just not doing anything. But I want to let you know that rest, that word and that definition has evolved over time, especially for us as women. And I just want you to know, even before I go into these 5 areas, I want to remind you that rest fuels your productivity. By you taking a break, you're not being lazy. You're not being irresponsible. You're actually investing in your call. You're investing in your purpose. You are making a verbal, physical declaration in saying that my life matters. My purpose matters. My assignment that the Lord has called me to do matters. So me resting is not being lazy, but it's being actually even more productive. Hi, friends. Okay, I know right now you are tuning into today's episode and it's so good, but I wanted to pop in here to let you know that there is a free coaching DNA quiz that is made available to you. Have you ever thought about going into life coaching and you don't really know what type of coach you would actually be? Well, the Called Women team has created a DNA quiz to help you discover your coaching DNA style. You can simply go to www.calledwomen.com/DNA quiz, put in your information, answer a few questions, and your results are going to be sent into your inbox. You guys, check it out. So, the first way for you to practice rest in your life is to practice micro resting throughout the day. When I was looking at this topic and looking at different examples of how you can incorporate rest in your life, I personally loved learning about this practice, micro resting. It simply is what it sounds like. We can honestly view rest as it needing to be a lot. it needing to take up a large part of our day. But how many of you know that as women who are busy, women who are going to school, women who are being good stewards of their time and their gifts and their talents, that sometimes we don't have a week to go on a plane and take a vacation, to Aruba, right? We need to be able to find small moments within our day to where we are being very intentional with putting into practice moments of rest. Now, I want you to know, and I also want to encourage your heart with this, the more that you put into practice micro resting, being able to incorporate small pockets of rest and peace in your day is ultimately going to help you to show up better for not just the big things or the big moments in your day, but also for the quiet, still moments of your day. Now, when you are micro resting, you now are allowing yourself to recognize and build up the resilience to see that those short breaks begin to add up. And I want to share with you an example of how you can actually micro rest. There's 3 ways of how you can incorporate and do that now. You can literally take 5 minutes to close your eyes and breathe deeply. You can literally put a 5-minute timer on your calendar and it can pop up. And let's say you are finishing a meeting and you're getting ready to go on to another meeting, being able to fit these small micro rest moments in your day, in your schedule, to where you can take a deep breath, you can close your eyes, and you can begin to think very deeply in between the tasks that you are responsible for. And for me personally, I have found just simply being able to pause and to, because my office is upstairs right now. So when I have a busy day that has a lot of meetings, what I have found that helps me is, hey, coming out of that space where I'm at and coming down my stairs, getting a cup of water, stepping outside in my backyard, taking some deep breaths, and just reminding myself of where I'm at, what I'm doing, and even just reconnecting with me personally has helped me to be able to incorporate those micro resting moments. The second way that you can begin to incorporate the micro resting moments in your life is to step outside for fresh air and stretch your legs. These are all practical things. A lot of us nowadays, we work from home to where you are remote and you're in your office that's downstairs, the door is closed, right? And you may not even leave that office until the end of the day, depending on how intense your job is. But it's important that whether you're able to make that time in the beginning of your day or either at the end of your day or in the middle of your day, taking the time to stretch your body out, get your blood circulating, get your mind to be able to be shifted into another place of thinking and processing. And one thing also that has helped me is even having a book or an article or even just music, something that I can touch with my hands or listen with my ears to help kind of break up the monotony of my day is also a great way for you to incorporate rest into your schedule. And the last way to do that as well is to, and I already mentioned this, is to drink water mindfully and step away from the screens for a few moments. You guys, literally our society today, there are screens everywhere, literally from the TV to our phones, to our iPads, to our computer screens. We're constantly looking at a virtual screen that can affect our eyes. It can affect our mood. It can even sometimes, a lot of times, overstimulate us. So don't be afraid to turn off your computer screen. Don't be afraid to open up the blinds in your office, look out the window, and really just incorporate those small ways of resting. Okay, so the second way that you can incorporate rest into your day and make rest a non-negotiable, right, and a part of your daily life and rhythm is to simply set boundaries between work and personal time. Now, that can be very hard for a lot of us, especially when we work from home. But I want you to know that it is extremely imperative that you make that differentiation, that work happens during this time, and then after work, here is my personal time. Because what happens is, and I'm a living witness of this, my husband and I both work from home. My husband's office is literally right down the corner over here, that we have come and had a lot of conversations to where it's hard to actually turn off work because work and home is just so closely knitted together. But I just want to challenge you that if you find yourself in that situation to where you are unable to really find a balance between your work and personal time, I want to encourage you to define your work hours. Define your work hours. If you have a job to where you clock in at 8 and you clock in at 5, whatever has not been finished within that time, save it for tomorrow. Okay, save it for tomorrow or put it on your calendar to do the first thing on the following day. But do not allow your mind to be consumed with the fears and the worries of oh, I didn't get that done. Oh my gosh. I promise you being able to set those healthy boundaries will help you to be prepared to come back the next day and give it all that you have. It's so important that you're able to clearly define when you're working and clearly define when you have your personal time. Now, some of you may be thinking, Natasha, I am a business owner. I am an entrepreneur. How can it's really hard for me to shut off the business work hours from the personal time. Well, I want you to know that I hear you, I understand you, but I want to challenge you to really take those next steps to incorporate and really look at your day. What are you spending time on? Is it possible for you to get up, 30 minutes earlier so that you can have more time to finish your work so that you're able to actually have the evening to give back to yourself, to pour back into yourself spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. The thing is that if we're not filled up with rest, if we are not being intentional with that, then it's going to be easy for us to burn out. Your business, your ministry, your call, right? The people that are attached to your obedience needs a healthy version of you. And so I just want to encourage you to just make those changes and begin to have rest as a value system. The next way that you can set boundaries between work and personal time is to simply say no. Simply say no. How many times have you told people maybe? Okay, let me call you back later. Let me think about it. Let's be honest. Sometimes you don't even need to think about it. You know that the word no, the answer to this question or request is literally bubbling in your spirit. It's coming almost out of your throat, but you do not say it. I want to encourage you, especially as women, to be confident with your no. Be confident with what your capacity is and what you can actually give yourself to in a season. Protect your energy, protect your time, protect your space, protect what God has given you to take care of and to be a good steward of, because at the end of the day, no one is going to protect your time the same way that you are. Okay? People will treat you the way that people will treat you the way that you treat yourself, right? If they see that you're out here hustling all the time and you're working and you're not taking care of yourself, then people will assume, wow, she just likes to work. She doesn't like to have fun. So, hey, let me throw this project on her. Let's ask her to do this. But I want you to value yourself enough to be able to put up a standard and say no when it comes to things that are unnecessary, are not needed for you in the season that you are in. And I want to lastly encourage you with that sometimes, and I'll be honest, a lot of the times, rest is the most productive thing that you can do. Rest is the most productive thing that you can do, sister, friend, girlfriend, whatever, right? We need it. We need to be rejuvenated. We need to have a time to reset, to be able to come back to ourselves and be able to discern and know, okay, why are we tired? Why are we feeling overwhelmed? Why are we feeling like temperamental, right? I know for me, there are times where I'm just like, why am I so moody? And I think back in the last week or a couple of weeks or a month, and I'm like, I haven't even had time to get my nails done. I haven't even had time to go get a coffee. I haven't even had time to talk to my friend. So really, rest is productive. Again, right? Rest is productive. Rest is one of the most important and productive things that you can do and incorporate in your life. Now, the third way to incorporate rest into your life is to incorporate restful activities. Restful activities to where you're not having to think a lot. You're not having to tap into your business brain a lot or tap into your theological mind a lot. Like you can literally just simply be. Some of us ladies, we need to learn how to simply be, to be in our own skin, to feel the wind, going through our hair, to hear nature singing and to hear the ocean moving, right? And in order to do that, you have to be very cognizant and aware of what activities you are allowing in your life. Rest doesn't always mean lying down or sleeping. Engaging in activities that allow you to unwind yourself is still an act of rest. It's something that is necessary. And if I were to even be more frank with you, rest really begins to pull on who you really are. What do you like to do? What are the hobbies that you enjoy? I think a lot of us only limit rest to sleep because we don't know what we enjoy, or we have a limited view on what rest can actually look like. Rest can literally be you traveling. It could be you doing a staycation. It could be you creating a quilt, designing clothes, meeting with friends, whatever that is. So I have a few ideas for you to help you actively rest. And it's reading a book or journaling. That's something that is really, really a beautiful act that is endearing. It's something that you can do that is very cost effective. You can go find a journal at Marshall's, like a TJ Maxx, Target, even the dollar store, I think. And you can literally just take time each and every day to write out how you're feeling, what you're processing through and such. And also reading a good book. I found that, when I'm on vacation, I don't want to read a self-help book. I want to read a book that is going to take me to another place, to where I'm at the Hamptons, or I'm reading a love story, or reading something, even suspenseful. So I just want to encourage you to begin to look into what are different types of book themes that you like, that you can begin to incorporate into your life. You can also take a leisurely walk in nature, right? I already mentioned that. Listening to calming music or practicing mindfulness. I remember one of my favorite therapists really just introduced me to the mindful music of sitting down and literally creating a playlist that relaxes you, and putting that playlist on, sitting on the floor, being still, whether you're out in nature, whether you're in your room with your door closed. I remember I would sit down in my master bedroom, and we had a really big mirror, and I would put my AirPods in, and I would sit in front of the mirror, crisscross applesauce, and I would literally just, take moments to breathe, to take in a deep breath, inhale and exhale, and then just allowing my body to really receive the music as well as take in what I was feeling and experiencing. Okay. So, and even with you setting out a day out of your week, or whether it's once a month or a few times a month where you say, hey, rest is a non-negotiable. I'm going to rock this. Just make sure that you avoid any work related things. My husband right now is out of town for his birthday, and I intentionally sent him a text and was like, babe, do not work. Shut it off. Enjoy. Be present. Be still. Because if not, right, you're going to miss out on the beauty of the moment that you're in. So just even incorporating that into my marriage personally, encouraging my husband to do that, because rest ultimately, it not just impacts you for the good, but it impacts those around you who love you, and also to those who are supporting you and the call that's on your life. The fourth way to incorporate rest into your life is to incorporate restful rituals before bed. There's actually an episode that I did with Coach Michaela Dickerson, and she shared her tips on how to have a really amazing, strong, restful bedtime routine. And she talked about the science of being intentional with your nighttime routine. So I'll make sure to pin that episode in the show notes for you so that you guys can check it out, because she gives some really, really practical tips of how you can incorporate certain rituals before bed. But really, incorporating restful rituals before bed, it really helps you to unwind. It helps you to unwind. A lot of us, I'm guilty of it. I'll be on the phone going through Instagram or Facebook, and I'm just laughing, and we're laughing and talking, and then I turn the phone off and I go to bed, and then I wake up and I'm still tired, right? So it's just important to make sure that you're being intentional with knowing, okay, my room is a place where I come to rest. My bed is a place where I come to rest. And what I have found too is, once my kids are asleep, being able to come inside of, my bathroom, take my shower. I have certain, gels and lotions and body washes that I like, and not needing to rush through the routine of, getting ready for bed, really taking your time. And that's something that I have found that has been extremely helpful, and that I talk to other women as well who find it helpful as well, to make sure that they are avoiding screens at least 30 minutes before bed. Make sure that you turn off your phone, that you put it on D&D. I know I have a nighttime option to where I won't get any notifications. Protecting your time of rest, being intentional and saying that, hey, I'm going to get me a good amount of sleep tonight. No matter if I have the temptation to Netflix, if I have the temptation to scroll through TikTok, no, I love myself enough, right? I'm going to honor my call. I'm going to honor this season of building by doing my part and being intentional with resting. You can also practice deep breathing to help calm your mind before you go to bed. And another thing that I love too, which aligns with what we just shared, is that you can also read a book or write in a gratitude journal. That's something that has helped me to where I'll do my Bible reading, or like a bit of my Bible reading at night. And that's just worked for me to where I go to bed and I feel like I'm able to kind of process what I'm reading a lot better at night, when like the whole house is quiet and there's nothing that's really needing to be done. So that's a way that you can incorporate that into your life as well. So I hope that even just with us going through these different ways to help you incorporate rest, that you have been encouraged, and that something that you listened to sparked interest in you to where you want to pursue it, or you want to learn more about it. And I just want to encourage you that if you only take one thing away, I want you to be confident in knowing and just even speaking over yourself, even when you feel weary or overwhelmed, with you knowing that your sister in Christ, right? That that I'm reminding you and giving you permission to make rest a non-negotiable in your life. Rest does not have to be something that you only get once a year. Rest can literally be how you live your life, how you operate, how you build, and how you create, is that you are able to come back to a place of self-awareness. You're able to come back to a place of sensitivity, of what God is doing in your life, and also what you're doing in your life to partner with the Lord to make sure that you have the energy, the mental space, and the room and the wherewithal to do the things that He's calling us to do. In order to do that, you need to make sure that rest is a priority in your life. So I pray that you guys were encouraged by today's video. Please let me know in the comments what step or way that I shared with you encouraged you, and what are you going to put into practice? Let's have a conversation in the comments and let me know. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to make sure that you continue to be aware of what we're doing by signing up for our newsletter. You can find all that information in the show notes. Again, thank you for spending time with me today, and I'll see you in the next episode.